Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. We're going to try this again. Maybe Facebook will cooperate this time. Here we go. Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Wednesday. I am glad you're here. Talking to a friend of mine the other night. I say talking, we were texting back and forth. In today's society, that counts as talking, as far as I'm concerned. We were talking about the Governor's Executive Development Program. This is a program where state agencies send leaders and new leaders, particularly, to really intensive. It's a multi-month program, several meetings, and it's basically throwing you in the deep end on leadership lessons. I mean, all day long sessions. It's a great program. We're both graduates of the program, and he's presented, and he said, if you ever had a chance to present to the GEDP program, what would you talk about? Well, I didn't hesitate. I said, it's not about you. And that's today's Red Mic message. Because if you strip leadership down to its core, beyond the titles, the org charts, the strategy decks, performance reviews, all of that, that one idea touches everything that I think that program is trying to develop. Organizational strategy, it's not about your preferences, it's about values, mission, and long-term direction. Infrastructure and systems, they do not exist to make you as the leader feel comfortable. They exist to support the mission. Resource management, those aren't your people, your budget, or your authority. You are just a steward, not an owner. And this hit home for me last week and this week. A former colleague of mine announced that she was trying and now has announced that she has gotten into grad school. More about that in a minute. Personal effectiveness. You've got to have self-awareness. You've got to have purpose. You've got to have self-management. And all of that starts with understanding that leadership is not about your self-expression. It's self-discipline. It's self-discipline. It's the mission, it's the team, it's the organization. In my opinion, that program is designed to help state executives lift their eyes to see the entire playing field, anticipate change, develop their people, and make decisions that outlive their tenure. And that's exactly why it's not about you matters. It's why it resonates. The moment leadership becomes personal, it's going to break. Now, speaking of personal, you're here, so you know that Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons that I've drawn largely from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. If you focus on it's not about you, it's going to fix a lot of broken leadership, broken teams, broken conversations. It's not your comfort, not your feelings, not your intentions, not your stress level, not your backstory. None of that is as important as the mission, the team, the organization. Leadership doesn't care how tired you are. The mission doesn't pause because you're frustrated or you're having a bad hair day. The standard doesn't bend because of any reason that's related directly to you, because again, it's not about you. Now, that doesn't mean you don't matter. It means that the role and the mission and the organization matters more for the organization, for those people, for your board, for all of that. And if you as a leader forget this, things are going to drift. Decisions become personal. Feedback becomes an attack. Accountability feels unfair. And then suddenly everything is in existence seemingly to serve you instead of the other way around. Your culture is going to rot if you let that happen. In my opinion, good leaders, well, you've got to understand, you're just a seat filler. It's a temp job. The mission is not, though. It's not about being liked. It's not about being validated. It's not about being seen. It's none of that. It's about doing the work, building a system that lasts, or improving the system to make it last, making decisions that you won't get credit for, handing off something stronger than what you inherited. A little bit more about my former mentee that got accepted into the MBA program. I'm not going to embarrass her by naming her. She knows who she is. I poured a lot of time and effort into helping her develop. I coached her hard. I challenged her often because I saw her potential very early. And her success didn't happen because of a speech. It didn't happen because of a LinkedIn post. And it sure didn't happen because I needed the recognition. Her success happened because I remembered that leadership is not about holding people close, it's about pushing them forward. If you're going to be a good leader, don't build any monuments to yourself. Build people, build systems who go on without you. Because if you're doing it right, some of your best work will show up years later. Your fingerprints may be there, but it's going to have somebody else's name. And that's kind of the point. Because again, it's not about you. Now, when I coached kids, I was very clear about one thing. Pain is part of your effort. Discomfort is part of your growth. Neither one automatically means you stop. Now, if you're truly injured, that's different. A true injury changes the mechanics. It puts you or someone else at real risk. That's when you have to pull yourself. No debate. I didn't let my kids confuse being uncomfortable with being injured, because if you can't tell the difference, you'll quit on anything hard the minute it feels bad. I used to tell my kids, "Oh, Coach, doing the stance like this is hurting my legs." Good, you're doing it right. Those sort of lessons show up everywhere. If you remember Emmitt Smith, he once played through a separated shoulder in the 1992 NFL season. He wasn't being reckless, but he was understanding that there was a difference between his pain and an injury. His shoulder hurt, but the mission didn't care. Carrie Strug knew that her ankle was injured at the 96 Summer Olympics. She also knew exactly what that moment required. She didn't deny the risk, she accepted the responsibility. And Michael Jordan, he didn't play in the flu game because he was feeling good. He played because real leaders know they have to show up even when a solid excuse is available. He rejected all of that. He pushed through. None of those examples were about ego. None of those were about the applause. They were about the team. They were about the mission. And that circles us straight back to leadership and staff development. If you're a leader and everything flows through you, you are a bottleneck. If every win has your name on it, your team is going to stop trying. Give them the credit. Because if you take credit instead of giving it to your staff, you're not developing leaders. You are developing dependents. Good leaders push credit down and responsibility up. They let their people be seen. They let their people grow. They let their people win. I always gave credit to my people for the good things, and I took the blame when the hit the fan. It was on my watch. I stepped up. Leadership is not about being the star. It's about making sure that the work continues even if you're not in the room. In youth sports, the play doesn't care who you are. In scouting, the oath doesn't change based on your mood. And in public service, the job is not yours. It really belongs to the people. And you have to remember that. Because again, in leadership, it's not about you. It never was. It never is. It never will be. If your leadership requires constant validation, it's fragile. If your authority collapses under accountability, it's ego, not leadership. And if the mission only works when you are comfortable, it's not going to survive you. It's sure not going to survive any of the slings and arrows from a cruel world. Real leaders know that early and they live it daily. I repeat again, it's not about you. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting or helpful. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share, no matter what platform you're on. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And to my buddy who I was talking to the other night, thanks for the conversation. Thanks for the pat on the back. Thanks for the encouragement. I'll see you guys next time. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon.